Hi, Nancy Burt-Preece here, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I wanted to share with you a card made using Fragrant Layers stamp set and Loveliest Tree. I'm casing this from a demonstrator called Crafty Roots, and I thought it was a very clever card. I tweaked up some of the colors and some of the things she did, but basically the idea is hers. So what you need for this card, which is not hard, I'm using Melon Mambo 4 1/4 by 11 scored at 5 1/2. Then I'm using Secret C. I need 2 of them because I did use one on the inside. Secret C, I wanted it a little bit smaller so it really showed that edge. So the Secret C is 3 3/4 by 5. I need 2 of those. And then the white is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. You need 2 of those. So let's start with the outside. I'm going to be using my Secret C first. And I'm going to stamp. I kind of put it to the left a little bit. You know, you can add more flowers. You can do whatever you want. I'm just going to kind of put it to the left here. Try to make it in the middle. And then I will clean that in a little bit. I'm going to move that over. Now, I got to find my 2 pieces. They're right here. What I did is I just had this the same size, and I cut it, I just ripped it down. So this is the 3 1/2 by 4 3/4, I think. And I just ripped it down. Now, originally I was trying to hold both in place while I'm doing it. I started doing something a little different, and I like it. Oops, I got something on there. All right. Beautiful thing. You just turn it over, right? It's probably because I didn't clean my block. And you can use that chamois and really scrub it around. Let me try it again with a clean block. Because this is such a big stamp, I put it right on top of the block. Try that one again, since I don't have any extra yuck on there. And I'm going to kind of put it there. Yeah, it's amazing what happens when you clean your block. I'm going to start with the right-hand side first, so I get a sense how much I want to leave off. Seems like a weird thing to do, but I found a lot of success with it. Because when I first did it, it didn't seem like I left enough color on there, so I had to kind of go back anyway. So I'm going to kind of do it like that. Now this one I am going to hold. I come off my paper a little bit. Then I'm going to go to Timid Tiger. So that was Melon Mambo. This is Timid Tiger. And you can blend them together. That's what those blending brushes are for. Add a little bit of color there. The last one is Daffodil Delight. I don't know where it is where you are, but it's really dark and cold and yucky here. This one I want to add more. I want that to be bright. Okay. Now I'm going to be done with this side, unless I decide I want to add more. And I'm going to put this side on and do the same thing. I'm going to start with my Melon Mambo. Oops, if that happens, you just move it around. I'm going to get that whole thing dark. Try not to go right near the edge because you do want to leave that edge part. Then I'm going to do the Timid Tiger. And finally, I'm going to do, oopsie, I moved it a little bit. I'm going to do the daffodil. because you want that little look, that edge that looks a little ripped. So can you put them both? Could you put a little of adhesive that you can pick up very easily? Yes, you can. But you can also do one at a time. So if you come to a class of mine, you'll have some options on how you want to do that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp with Secret C. I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday. And if you do that, you turn it over. I did that last time. I'm not pushing it down hard enough. There we go. Much better. I'm also going to stamp a little flower, and you can stamp that. Boy, I'm really having a good one, but I'm going to leave that. And you're going to add a little bit of pink. Just a little bit. It just adds a fun little dynamic there. I have a piece of 3.5 by 1/2. So that's a tricky one. And I'm going to kind of go in the middle. It's Your Day, one of the cute sayings. And I will move this out of the way so I don't get ink everywhere. So let me close up my ink pads because I think we're done with them. So do you have to do 4 colors? No. You can do anything you want. Can you do any colors you want? Absolutely. And you know, a lot of times Stampin' Up! They have the color wheel. They have the designer series paper that helps us know what to do. It's really helpful. This is 3.5 by 3/4. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mount that on there. So, and you can look it up on Pinterest, like different Stampin' Up! Colors that go together. If you want Secret C and you're not sure what else goes with it, there's lots of things all over the place that help you. And sometimes I just do what I want, which is what we should do when we're creating. Have some fun. All right, I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the back. And then I'm going to adhere it right to the front of my card. I'm going to use some dimensionals to pop this up on the front. This is a little different. She used just a Secret C and she embossed it in white. I didn't really want to emboss on this card, so now I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. I made these, the inside and the outside white, the same size on purpose so that it wouldn't be confusing when you're going to make it. So I do that sometimes, make them both the side. Besides, look at that beautiful edge around there, and you still have plenty of room to write. The last thing I'm going to do are these some 2005, 2027. These are going to be retiring in color flat pearls. And I am just using the Secret C ones, but you could use anything you wanted because there's Timid Tiger on here. Would that work? Absolutely. And every time I make this card, it's going to look different, which I love about that because they're unique every time you make them. So I hope you try this technique, and it is a lot of fun. And stay warm and have a great day. Bye.